So I hope you've all been well. But irrespective of whether you've been well or not, please feel free to use this meeting, this satsang, take this opportunity to relax, to let go of all the apparent pressures and strains that may be afflicting you in daily life. There are lots and lots of teachings available, but we don't have to worry about those too much either. We don't need those. We don't. We just need to be. We're very lucky because it's such a small group of us. I think the definition of small is that you can all fit on a Zoom and a single Zoom screen. I think that's the definition of small now, isn't it, in terms of group size? So, for me, this is like a lovely size group. I get to see you all. We all get to interact with each other. Over time, we get to know each other. And the real communing, the real community, the real communing is through this presence, through being. The Sanskrit word, we might not think of this word as being a Sanskrit word. You know how I litter these talks with Sanskrit words. There's a Sanskrit word, yoga. Yoga. And one of the translations of yoga is to commune, to come together. Yoga is often translated as union or yoking. It comes from the root word which means to yoke. It's an agricultural term. When you join the harness of an animal and that's attached to a plough in a field to the animal that's pulling the plough along, that's to yoke these things together. And that's where the root of the word yoga comes from. Yoga means to bring together, to unite, to commune, to come together. So we come together in wholeness. This is our Holy Communion. See? This is the yoga, the holy yoga. As long as there is a sense of separation, there will be, if there's a sense of separation, that means the illusion or ignorance is still present. The sense of separation is the ignorance, is the illusion. And as long as that sense of separation is there, there will be suffering. So until the yoga communion is complete, the sense of suffering and inadequacy will continue. And very simply, to attend to our own presence, which is the presence of God, which is the divine presence, to turn our attention towards that and abide as that is the method of union, of yoga. It's the true yoga. All other yogas, all other methods are just to take us to this true union. This true union is the same as non-duality. So this is how we know God. We become one with him or her. This is how we know Ramana. Bhagavan, Ramana. Beloved, Ramana. This is how we know Ramana. By communing with him. Where is he? He's in our hearts. We can know him in our hearts. This is how you become one with your guru. This is how you become one with God. And if you don't believe in God, and if you don't have a guru, no problem. This is how you become one with yourself. It's the same. If you believe in God, usually the road will be quicker for you. Less suffering. Because why? Because we give everything to God. We let God take care of all our physical and worldly problems. And he does. And as we let go of the outer, the objects more and more, we naturally come to ourself more and more. Abide as the self more and more. Stillness, silence. And then this world becomes less and less important to us. And by that I mean what happens in the world affects us less and less. It disturbs us less and less. If good things happen, good things happen. Doesn't make much difference to you. Why? Because you're one with God. If bad things happen, bad things happen. Doesn't make much difference to you. Why? Because you're one with God. You're with Ramana in your heart. It's not a cold detachment. It's full of love. The equanimity means you're not rising and falling with every good and bad event in your life. You're calm. The equanimity comes not from coldness, from detachment in that sense. It comes from fullness and love, wholeness, completion. You're realizing the joy, the boundless joy within, that's not dependent on this or that, on objects. If you don't believe in God, no problem. If you have Ramana as your guru, as I recommend, then the path will be easier for you, because you can have faith in him and his teachings. But if you don't have faith in Ramana or another guru who teaches the true path, no problem. You can just attend to yourself. Or if you don't believe in God, you don't have a guru, you're not even sure about this self thing, but you want to kind of engage in this path, you can pray. You can say, if there's a God, you can pray and say, if there's a God out there, show yourself to me. If there's a guru there for me, show yourself to me. Come to me. Help me. You can put your intention out there if you're yearning for this. And get in touch with your yearning, your desire for freedom. It's that yearning, that desire that will take you home and stop you going on detours. That desire for freedom is also the suffering of feeling separate, the suffering of ignorance. That's what keeps you going on the path and takes you away from the false teachings. If the yearning is not strong, you will settle. You'll settle for second best, for third best, for false teachings, for false teachers. But when you look within and you say, what do I really want? What is my heart's desire? You will realize your heart's desire is nothing less than total end of suffering, total happiness, bliss, total dissolution, oneness with God, merging with him. You look within, you get in touch with your heart's desire. That's what your heart wants, to be one with God, one with the Absolute. These are my words. You can find your words, maybe, that express the same yearning, the same love.